Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So, program number 22. The Samvara Pahadabba Asawa. The Gadamija Bakery Asawa Samvara Pahadabba. So, what are those asawas? Taints that should be abandoned by restraint. Ida Bakery Baku Brisenka Yoni so. The Brisenka ya. Prisenka Yoniso, Chakon Dria Samvara Samudo Wihradi Yenjitsa Yahi Asa Pekaway Chakon Dria Samvaram Asa Udasa Wihrado Obejayo Asawa Wigada Prilaha Chakon Dria Samvaram Samudasa Wihrado A1 Sade, you have to divide A1 Asa. Te asawa wigada prilaha nahondi. Similarly, Brisenkayonis or Sote Indria, Samvara Samudo Wiradi. Kanindria Samvara Samudo Wiradi, Jawindria, Gaindria, Manindria Samvara Samudo Wiradi. Yenyesa Bakerway, Manindria Samvaram, Asa Udasa, Wirada Obejayo, Asawa wigada brilaha. Manindria Samvara Saudasa Wirado, even Sadi Asawa, we got a brilla nahondi. Yenisa Beko is Samwaram Asa Udasa Wirado, Obejayo. Asawa, we got a brilla, Samwaram Saudasa Wirado, even Sadi Asawa, we got a brilla nahon, Ime Ojani Beko, Asawa Samvara Bahadaba. So I wanted to read this paragraph. Could I make a break away? Okay, yin nyesa, yan hi asa. Yin nyesa you have to divide. Yan hi asa. This yan also connected to the asawa vikata prilaha. Yam asawa, yam here means a yam change into the ye. Yam ye asawa. Yam ye vigada prilaha. Now you will see the asa. Asa means his. Actually here not just the word asa means his. Asa refers to the asa santani. Asa santani. Santana means a continuity. Asa santani in his continuity means in him. Asa santani in his continuity. The continuity process is called the santana. The continuity of the mind and matter. The process is called santana. So, asa santane, we have to simply translate in him. Asa santane. So, yan ye asawa, yan ye vikata. Yan is singular accusative case, but the case is changed depending on the connected word. Yam, because when the yan is connected to the asawa, we will change yan into the ye asawa. Ye vikata, ye prilaha. The chakondriya sanvuda, sanvara sanvuto. So in the commentary also, you will see the explanation of this word. The Chakundriya Sanvarena Sanvuto. Chakundriya Sanvarena Sanvuto. What is Chakundriya Sanvara? Chakundriya Sanvara means a sati, mindfulness. With the mindfulness of eye faculty. Sanvuto, restraining. Sanvuto, virati. So restraining, sanvuta. Restraining. So towards restraining. The sanvuta will be translated as adverb. What is root of the sanvuta? So usunanda. The root is wu, you know. The prefix is sam. Sam is a prefix. Root is wu, okay. Sanvuta. The sanvara is, the root is war. Sanvarena sanvuto. Chakundriya sanvarena sanvuto. Chakundriya sanvara sanvuto. So in the commentary we will see more extensive explanation of this Chakundriya sanvara sanvuta. Now, for the time being we will translate. It was restraining with mindfulness on I faculty. So otherwise also, if you follow English, the word, Bali word, exactly, with the restraint of I faculty. He does restraining with the restraint of I faculty, but the restraint of the I faculty means mindfulness of I faculty, mindfulness on I faculty. Jakundariya Samurina Samudo Wiradi. Okay, now we will see the sentence. Ida Baku with Baku, Brisinka Yoniso, Jakundariya Samura Samudo Wiradi. Yenisa Bakeaway, Jakundariya Samwaram, Asawudasa, Wirado, Ubijeyo, Asawa, Wikada, Prilaha. Yenyesa Yahi Asa. The Ye Asawa, Ye Wikada, Ye Prilaha, the 3 points. Ye Asawa rest the taints. Ye Wikada vexation. Ye Prilaha distress or burning. So this is a vexation is Wikada. So Prilaha also you can translate the distress. The distress in the mind, Prilaha, burning in the mind. The taints, the vexations, the distress. Okay, the whole sentence starting with the Yanyesa is relative clause. The taints, the vexation, the burnings, the distress, which would rise in him, like a asa, Yanyesa, Yahi asa. In him, the taints, the vexation, the burnings, which would rise in him, who lives asangudasa without restraining. Jakundariya Samwaram. So Jakundariya Samwaram is mindfulness or I faculty. So basically, like simply because, like a restraining is, I think, a little, the words are repeated. Otherwise, you can say, so who lives without restraining I faculty? Later, we will see the detailed, explanation of the Jakundariya Samvara. The taints, the vexation, the burnings, or maybe the distress which would arise in him, who live without restraining I faculty. Okay? Now, the main clause is Ewen Sati Asawa Wigata Brilaha Ewen Sati Obijeyo Wigata Brilaha Jakundariya Sanwuda Sanwudo Ewen Sati Asawa Wigata Brilaha Nahondi. Okay? Those asawas taints will not rise in him who towards restraining I faculty. So the asawas which would rise in him who lives without restraining I faculty will not rise in him who lives with who lives restraining eye faculty. There are two parts. Now, if you live without restraining eye faculty, then asava will rise, vigata will rise, prilaha will rise. But if you live restraining the eye faculty, asava will not rise, vigata will not rise, prilaha will not rise. The two sentences are combined by the Buddha as, one subordinate clause, one main clause. So the asavas may rise for the one who lives without restraining eye faculty, may not rise to the one who lives restraining eye faculty. Okay? Yenyesa bhikkhave parisankha yoniso sotindriya samra samvuto virati. Kanindriya samvara samvuto virati. So like eye faculty, ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, body faculty, mind faculty. So yenyesa bhikkhave manindriya samvaram asavudasa virata upijayam asava vigata prilaha. So otherwise, without thinking of the yang or day, you can understand that simply to the one in one who lives without restraining eye faculty, then the asavas, vexation, or the taints of the vexation burning will rise. In one who lives restraining the eye faculty, the asavas will not rise, the taints will not rise, vexation will not rise, the burning will not rise. So yenyesa bhikkhave samvaram asavudasa virata upijayo asava vigata prilaha. So this asava, this vigata, this prilaha, only for the ones who lives without restraining eye faculty. For the ones who lives restraining or controlling eye faculty, those asavas will not have chance to rise again. There are two parts. The samvaram samvudasa virata evansade asava vigata prilaha nahondi. Ime hojani bhikkhave asava samvara pahadabba. Okay. This Indriya, Chakundriya, Samvara, Samvuto also, according to the Patimokkha, Samvuto also explained by the word endowed with. So Chakundriya, Samvara, Samvuto, endowed with the mindfulness of eye faculty. Also you can translate. Chakundriya, Samvara, Samvuto will be translated endowed with mindfulness or eye faculty. So generally the people translate like this, most of people translate like this, restraining eye faculty. But if you follow a commentary explanation, we have two kinds of the methods. Samvuto endowed with. Chakundriya samvara, mindfulness or eye faculty. So, endowed with mindfulness or eye faculty. He lives endowed with mindfulness or eye faculty. Okay, now the next way of translation is, also we will see, the samvara means here close. The samvariti samvuto. Thagesi pidahaditi odahoti. Samvuta is closed. According to the commentary. So Chakundriya samvara samvuto. Chakundri Sanwara Sanwudo, Chakundriya, Sanwara Sanwudo. The Chakundri in the eye faculty. Sanwara Sanwudo, Sanwara here means a sati or mindfulness. So Sanwuda close. So we can translate like Sanwuda is closed. The Sanwara here means a sati. Sati is compared with Kawada. Kawada means tall leaf. Sati Kawada. The Sati Kawada means with the tall leaf of mindfulness. Sanwuda is closed. So close with the dull leaves of the mindfulness in the eye faculty. Also we can translate. Chakundriye, Sanwara, Sanwudo. Later we will see the commentary explanation. That's the first explanation is Uppeta. No? The Sanwudo is Chakundriya Sanwurena. Sanwudo. Sanwudo here means in down with. The Chakundriya Sanwara, we can translate Sanwara as a restraint. Restraint of eye faculty. In down with, restraint of eye faculty. Chakundriya Sanwurena, Sanwudo. Chakundriya Sanwara, we can translate restraint of eye faculty. Sanwuda is in down with. According to the second explanation, close with the tall leaves, mindfulness, eye faculty. So this, you can understand according to the modern language. Close eye faculty with the tall leaves of mindfulness. Otherwise also, without, going to, without, with also, close in the eye faculty, close door leaves of mindfulness in eye faculty. So in the Dhammasangani commentary, Sanwarena, Satikkawadena, the Sanwudo. But according to this Mulapanaza commentary, we have the Sanwaram, Satikkawadam. It takes as a the accusative case. Okay, later we will analyze about that. There are two kinds of the explanations. Okay, here now we are going to study about the meaning of Chakundriya Sanwara. The Chakundriya Sanwara is sati, mindfulness. So what kind of the sati? According to this mindfulness meditation, when you see man or woman, you don't take the sign of man or woman. You don't take their limbs or the sign of their limbs, the sign of their bodies. You don't take You don't observe how they speak, how they laugh, how they smile. You don't observe the way they move, the way they behave. So when you see visible form, like when you look at the people, at that time, the yogi doesn't take this is man or this is a woman. He just only makes a mental note, see and see and see. When someone reaches the Dharma-jnana, at that time, all of visible forms which strike the eyes, he does in all of the visible forms which strike the eyes, he sees only the disappearing. He sees only the Benga. So his mind never reached to the sign of a man or woman. So according to the Visuddhimagga, when someone attains the Dharma-jnana, at the moment, at that time, he can give up perception of the man or woman. Naturally, because his Vipassana jnana is very strong. As soon as he sees someone, at the moment he sees only the Nama Rupa. Those Nama Rupas are rising and disappearing. Like, so in the commentary also, we have one, a story is mentioned. Like, like there's one story. This is in the Visuddhimagga. There is one Thera who lives in the Anuradha, in the Anuradha, in the Chetiya Papata. So he went out for alms. At that time, he saw a woman. This is the daughter-in-law of a family. She, argued with her husband. Early in the morning, she, left the house. But she, they decorated very beautifully. And, she is still, the beautiful woman. When she met the Thera in the road, at the time, she smiled at the Thera. But the Thera at the moment, he was developing this Atthika Kammatthana. This Atthika Kammatthana is very strong for him. So he just saw only the teeth. Then, why he is developing this Atthika Kammatthana? Because he saw the teeth in the woman. He came to, he attained a hardship. When he continues, Asubha Senya Patila Bhaidava Arhadam Babuni. When he saw this, the teeth in the woman and he got the Asubha Senya. Because of Asubha Senya, he, attained the hardship. When, he will continue at his, he continued to go for alms. In the road, he saw her husband. Her husband asked him, Samiko biko panasa anumaga gachano tiran desawa. Kenji bande 18 basata di pochi. Do you see any woman? Did you see any woman? He asked to the Thera. The Thera aha. Nabi janam 80wa purisova ido agato. I don't know man or woman who went, in the road. Abija ati sengado gachate. That's it. Gachate sa mahabati. I just see only the skeleton, the which went in the road. This means that he, dated, he finished, completes his practice in the data matter, sutta matter. When he see visible form, it is a just see. When he hears something, a sound, it is just, like a hearing. So such a stage level should be attained according to the Indriya Samvara Sila. The Indriya Samvara also included in the one of the Silas. Padimaka Samvara Sila, Indriya Samvara Sila, Pajaya Sanisita Sila, Ajiva Parisori Sila. There are 4 kinds of Silas. In those 4 kinds of Silas, Padimaka Samvara Sila is directly, it is Riya Sila. But Indriya Samvara Sila is not the Sila, not Riya Sila. It is more like a Bhavana. Because the Indriya Samvara refers to the sati or mindfulness. So this sati or mindfulness, it closes, it restrains Aindaw or faculty with the mindfulness. So if we are mindful, whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we smell, whatever we taste, whatever we touch, whatever we think, then there is no chance for rising. There is no chance asavas will rise. So asava has no chance, kilesa has no chance to rise. Otherwise, when we see something or some visible objects, whether it is beautiful or not beautiful, automatically we are distracted with that form. We consider this is a man or woman. Now then we consider this is beautiful or not beautiful. So and then we decide that this is a good or bad. Then we decide we like or not. So as soon as you see one man, you have already decided. Most of people already decided he is likable or she is likable. So in this way, asavas are increased. When the asavas increase because of the tanha, if we don't get what we want, we have the soka, vigata. So vigata, like similar to the ubayasa, dominance. So vibhaga and again the prilahas. So because of this vigata, so we have the the vibhaga prilaha. In the future, we accumulate the kusala gamma, agusala gamma. Because of agusala gamma, in the next life, we will be born in the Vobu states. But even though we are born in the celestial abode or human world, surely we are going to suffer jadi dukkha, jara dukkha, vyadi dukkha, marana dukkha. So because of this, if someone doesn't restrain his Aindaw with the mindfulness, so because of this also, there will be the chance of rising of those kilesas or asavas. Because of this, in the original text, asava, vikata, prilaha, upecheya. So how do we stop rising of those kilesas? What we have to do is sati, mindfulness. So as soon as we see we are completely drifted away, we are carried away, Some people are more, like if some people have more ideas, imaginations, they are more carried away, So when you are seeing someone that you are going, your mind is going back to the past. Your mind is going back to where go to the future. So within a split of seconds, the mind is working, continuously without stopping. So restlessly, we are restless. Okay, now look at the commentary now. So even dasanena bahadabe asawe dasitawa idani tadanantara udete samvara bahadabe dasidon kadameja bekawe asawa samvara bahadabadi aha. Even samvara sambado vidita, okay, we don't translate. Ido brani ata madame wene sama. Okay, now the next paragraph, do you see? Nanuja dasanena Bhavanaya imehi dvihi Abahadabo asavana manati Ata kasama wiso Samvaradihi Bahadabe Dasiti. That's the question. So, in the Sabasava Suttas, how many Bahadaba, how many ways of the Bahadabas? Dasana Bahadaba, Samvara Bahadaba, Patisevana Bahadaba, Adivasana Bahadaba, Parivijana Bahadaba, and then Vinodana Bahadaba. Good, then you have very good memory. And then Bhavana Bahadaba. Okay, now I have already explained in the beginning of the Suttas. What is the Bhavana Bahadaba? What is the Bhavana in this Sutta? No development. So higher 3 megas. Sakadagami mega, Nagami mega, Arhata mega is a Bhavana. Dasana is Sodapati mega. Okay, don't forget these points. Dasana is Sodapati mega. Bhavana is Sakadagami, Nagami, Arhata megas. So Nanuja Dasanina Bhavana Yadi Imehi Dvihi Apahadabo Asona. So the question is, there is no asava that cannot be apahadabo, that should not be abandoned by these two, dasanina bhavanaya. So according to the dasana bahadaba, the person can eradicate deity and vijigesha. According to the bhavana bahadaba, he can eradicate all the remaining kilesas. So by these two bahadabas, all of the kilesas can be eradicated. Why the Buddha expound again this samvara bahadaba? Actually, it is not necessary to expound against samvara bahadaba. Atakasama wisdom samvaradihi bahadabe daseti. Why the Buddha separately shows samvara bahadaba, parisivana bahadaba, vinodana bahadaba, and so on? Why? And then the commentary explains samvaradihi puba bhage. We can be the asava. Chatuhi megahi samugadam kachandi. I want to do the sentence. Samvaradihi puba bhage. Carry on, dasama. Okay. Samvaradihi puba bhage, we can be the asava. Chatuhi megahi samugadam gachandi. Samugadam gachandi, completely abandoned, eradicated. Chatuhi megi, with what? With the 4 path knowledge. Asava. Asava samugata gachandi. Asava gachandi. So come to destruction or come to abandonment or come to eradication. These asavas come to eradication by the 4 path knowledge. What kind of asavas? Samvaradihi puba bhage, vikambita, which is temporarily ward off, temporarily eradicated with the samvara and so on in the preliminary stage. Puba bhage. So puba bhaga paripata, we can understand. Now samvara bahadaba, parisivana bahadaba, these 5 way of the bahadaba is puba bhaga paripata, puba bhaga paripata. So directly, completely, the asavas are eradicated in what stage? Dasana and bhavana. Before someone attains the Sodapati mega, before someone attains the Sakaragami, Anagami, Arhata megas, he needs to follow the puba bhaga mega. The yesterday I had talked about. In the puba bhaga mega, he has to contemplate on the nature of the Nama Dhamma and Rupa Dhammas. Their characteristics, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, and so on. You know? So this samvara and so on is indicated to follow Pubbā Bhāga Paripada. Actually, with these two Pahadabhas, Dasana Bahadabha, Bhavana Bahadabha, it is not necessary to indicate again the other Pahadabha ways. Dasama Yojaya Vuddha Pratamo Dasana Mego Yewa Idani Bhavana Namina Hojasandi Teyomega Tesam Sabisambi Yam Pubbā Bhāga Paripada Adi Vadidabha. These, Samvara, Bahadabha, Asava, and so on, should be understood as a Pubbā Bhāga Paripada, preliminary practice. The preliminary practice. The practice should be done previously before someone attains Sotapaddi Magga and so on. So now underline Tesan Sabbe Ayam Pubbā Bhāga Paripada. Underline Pubbā Bhāga Paripada. So what is Pubbā Bhāga Paripada? What does mean? What is meant by the Pubbā Bhāga Paripada in this suttas? Samvara Bahadabha Patisevana Pahadabha, and then Adhivasana Pahadabha, Privijana Pahadabha, Vinodana Pahadabha. These five are called Pubbā Bhāga Paripada. Okay, now carry on. Ata tata ida di ima samay sasane. The Parisankaya, properly or wisely. Okay, now we don't focus on that, part of the commentary explanation. The Parisankaya yoni sodihi uppayena batena Parisankaya nyadawa. Do you see that Pali? Pijawaki tawadi atta. Itaja asamwari. Adinawa Parisankha Yoniso Parisankhari Vadidabha. Sajayam Varam Bhikkhave Tattaya Ayosalakaya Aditaya Samicalitaya Sa Jodi Buddhaya Chakundariyam Sampali Mata Nadiwa Chaku Vayesu Rubesu Anupyanjanaso Nimeta Gahodi Adina Adita Priyaya Nayena Vadidabha. Okay? I want to read that commentary. Parisankha Yoniso Okay. So Parisankha Yonisodi Upayena Patena. How do you translate? Upayena Patena, wisely or properly. Parisankhaya, reflecting. Reflecting wisely. So upayena patena is explanatory word to the yoniso. The Brisinkhaya refers to the Brisinkhaya is explained by the words nyatawa, pichwakitawa. Brisinkhaya means nyatawa, having known wisely, properly. So having known, having reflected wisely, properly. So what kind of yoniso manasikara? Itaja here, asanwari adinawa Brisinkhaya, yoniso Brisinkhadi viridapa. So Brisinkhaya, so reflecting. So what is the yoniso Brisinkhaya? Yoniso Brisinkhaya is asanwari adinawa Brisinkhaya. So the yogi will see the disadvantage in the not restraining. So how does he contemplate? The way he should contemplate is he has to know the disadvantage of not restraining. Adinawa Brisinkhaya. What does he contemplate? He will contemplate disadvantage in not restraining. Okay? So how does he the contemplate in not restraining? In the Adita Priyaya Sutta, the Buddha said, instead of the throwing, piercing, right, your eye with the very hot, the burning iron rod. It is, like when we see the visible forms, we take, like a sign of the man, nimita kahi. We take a sign of man or woman. To take sign of woman, sign of man is very, very worse. So instead of taking sign of man or woman when you see visible objects, it is better to be pierced your eyes with the iron rod. It is better to pierce, to penetrate your eye with the iron rod. This iron rod also very hot, burning. Instead of taking the sign of man or woman when you see visible objects. So this is a very strong, the recommendation, very strong admonition. So normally whatever we see, whatever, like the people or the things, when we see the flowers, we take the sign of the beautiful. When we see, like monasteries, when we see beautiful things, when we see the people, all the time we take signs, man or woman or whatever. The Buddha said, it is better, it is the best to pierce your eye, to penetrate your eye with the iron rod. Maybe because iron rod is, pierce our eye will be blind. This iron rod also, it is like, the very hot burning. So instead of taking the sign of the man or woman when you see the visible objects. Okay? Do you understand what I mean? Okay. So this is expounded in the Adita Priyaya Suttas. Because of taking the sign, man or woman, or taking the Anubhyanjana. What is Anubhyanjana? They are, like limbs, the way they speak, the way they smile, the way they move, all of, the postures, all of movements we take. It is Anubhyanjana. We take this is man or woman, it is Nimitta. Nimitta Gaha, Anubhyanjana Gaha. Nimeda Gaha, Anubjana Gaha. What is a Nimeda Gaha? Take the sign of man or woman. When we see, as soon as we see a form, we take. We just don't stop at no one. This is a Nama and Rupa. But we continue to see. The form is man, or the form is a woman. The form is beautiful, the form is not beautiful. In this way, kilesas or asavas rise increased. So how to stop seeing like this? I mean, how to stop taking the sign of man or woman, taking, the Anubhyajana, just to be data madda, sutta madda. How to become data madda, sutta madda. It is the only way. There is the only way is to develop inside meditation. So you have to, whatever we see, we in the very beginning, in the basic level, when we see and then we know it is seeing, the hearing, the smelling. So mindfulness meditation should be, developed all the time. In this way, like in the Silakanawaka commentary, also in the Sri Sambhajinya, Baba, in the commentary it is said, there is one of the Thera. He develops mindfulness the meditation the whole time. Sometimes he is about to pick up the food, and then he stretches his hand. One time, when he stretched his hand, at the moment he lost his mindfulness, and then he take back his hand. Then he stretched his hand again, stretching. The one time, when he went for alms to one village, near the, in the road, there's a near the face, Then every step he takes, he, makes a mindfulness. He makes, mental note, walking. One time, so when he is making mental note, then sometimes his mind is lost. Then he comes back to the first step. Then, he continues to take the step, walking. So in this way, he may do, 2 or 3 times in the same place. At that time, the farmers saw him. They thought this Thera maybe lost his way, So this is, how they practice very hard. So one Thera also you will see in the commentaries, One time he was, doing the walking, in the night, walking, the meditation. So his, the food is penetrated by the thorn. He doesn't tell anyone. So he, removes temporarily this the pain, and then he develops meditation. So one time also, there is one Thera who is called the Desa, I think. So he was practicing meditation in the forest. But, the thieves came. And then, they will kill him because of his brother. His brother doesn't want him to disrobe. When he disrobed, when he comes back to the house, he will share the inheritance with him. Then his brother sent him to kill him, sent the thieves to kill him. Then the thieves came. Okay, we will kill you because the monk lives alone. But the monk said, okay, if you want to kill me, please give me some time. But we don't believe you, you will run away. Okay, if you don't believe me, you break all of break all of my legs, thighs. Then they, break his legs, thighs. The Thera, the whole night contemplates all inside meditation. His, legs is still broken, but he temporarily ignored this, painful with, the feeling, dukkha vedana. In the morning, he attains a relationship. Such a, very hard, the practice inside meditation is followed by the Asian Theras. In the Mahasriparana Sutta commentary also we will see such a very inspiring stories. But some, for the modern time, now people nowadays always we want to live comfortable, conveniently, comfortable life, For us, it is very difficult to imagine now how they practice meditation like this, Nowadays, the time completely changed. So now the people always, leads to convenient life, comfortable life. But that to practice meditation very hard is, impossible for the people in the modern time. Because our mindset is changed. Now when we read such stories, these stories are, this is a very inspiring, it is necessary to read, to hear those stories. So like in this Indriya Samvara Sila also, such a practice also followed by, such a Theras, Asian Theras. So if someone follows such a meditation, mindfulness meditation very hard, he may attain this Aradhamaka within 7 days. The Buddha, publicly, openly admitted he can attain Sotapati Maga, Sagaragami Maga, Anagami Maga, Aradhamaka, within 7 days. That depends on his parameters. Maybe some poor people 7 months or 7 years, or 1 year, 2 years maybe. So here now we continue like Indriya Samvara Sila, This Indriya Samvara Sila also, if we have a strong desire to understand the Dhamma, for those people who have very strong desire can do that. It is not that impossible task. It is possible to do like this if someone has strong desire. Okay. The Chakundariya Samvara Samvudo Vira Dedi Ita Chaku Mewa Indriyam Chakundariya. What is Indriya? What is Chakundariya? Chakundariya means eye faculty. The Samvaranado Samvaro. The Samvaranado, because he restrains, it is called Samvara. So Samvara, what is Samvara? Pitahanado, Takanado. So Samvara means to close the eye faculty. You don't need to close your eyes. You have to close your eye faculty. In what way? With the mindfulness. So because of this commentary explanation, you may be frightened. Oh no, we will close our eyes. How we cannot see. No, you don't need to close your eyes. Close means, with the mindfulness. Satiya etam adivachana. Okay, he continues to explain. Close means sati. We put the mindfulness on eye faculty. It means we close eye faculty. We restrain eye faculty. So restrain eye faculty, restrain ear faculty, nose faculty, tongue faculty, body faculty, mind faculty is sati. So basically it refers to the mindfulness meditation. Satiya etam adivajana. This is the name of sati. Chakundariya samvaro. Chakundariya samvaro. So samvara means sati. So the mindfulness in the eye faculty. The Chakundariya Samvara directly, precisely. So now we translate the restraint in the eye faculty. Sometimes the meaning we cannot grasp. So what does it mean? Samvara, sati. So Chakundariya Samvara means the Chakundariya sati, Chakundariya sati. Mindfulness in eye faculty. So this is a grammatical explanation. Data kako, date kako, data kako. The crow in the jetty. Awade kichabo, awada kichabo. Wane Mahiso, Wana Mahiso. This is what kind of samasa? Pali students. Okay, what kind of tapurisa? Satami tapurisa. Chakundri is samwaro. Chakundriya samwaro. Data cargo. Data cargo. Data, what is the meaning of data? Hava or jetty. Awada gichabo, awade, gichabo, awada gichabo. So, what the common data means, you have to make a wikaha of the Chakundriya samwara like a data cargo, awada gichabo, wana mahiso. Okay, carry on now the important points. Kainjabi Chakundriya samwaro wa asamwaro wa nati. Actually, there is no restraining or no restraining in the eye faculty. So where there is the restraining, nahi chaku basaram nesaya satiwa muda sejangwa obejati. Okay, now we will analyze this, and obejati means rise. Now obejati doesn't rise. So what is subject of the obejati? Subject. Satiwa Mota Sajjama. What is a Mota Sajja? Forgetfulness. When you forget something, forgetfulness is Mota Sajja. Mota Sajja means now we don't have the Sati. Sati wa Mota Sajja wa. Mindfulness or forgetfulness doesn't rise. How? Chakupasadam Nesaya. Nesaya means dependent on. Dependent on the eye faculty, mindfulness or forgetfulness doesn't rise. Yada Ruparamanam Chakosa Abatam Agichati. Tada Boenge Doikatam Obijadava Nirodi Kiriya Manoda to Awajana Gajam Sariyamana Obijadava Nirojati. So when the visible form appear to the eye, at that time Boenge Doikatam Obijadava Nirodi Kiriya Manoda to Awajana Gajam Sariyamana Obijadava Nirojati. Boenge Obijadava, Dika the Obijadava Niroti. Boenge, where this word should be connected? Boenge Niroti. When the Boenga rise 2 times and ceased, at the time Kiriya Manodadu. Kiriya Manodadu. The Kiriya Manodadu means Benja Dwara Vijana Chaita. Avijana Gajan Sariyamana Ubijadva Nirojati. The completing the function of the advertent. It rise, completing the function of the advertent, and it disappears. The door Jaku Winyanam, Sawana Dasana Gajan, the door Vibaga Manodadu Samrichana Gajam, the Sandirana Gajam, Watabana Gajam, Sariyamana Ubijadva Nirojadi, Tatan Nandaram, Jawana Jawadi. This is a dim handara mana witi. Okay, now because for the beginners, if I explain into detail with the English translation, that will be difficult for them. So I will briefly explain about this paragraph. When the eye, the visible form struck eyes, at that time, Bhuvinga consciousness, like a shake 2 times, and that it disappears. After the Bhuvinga, there is, Benja Dwara Vijana Chaita. After the Benja Dwara Vijana Chaita, there is eye consciousness. After the eye consciousness, That is Samprechana Geja, receiving consciousness. Then the Sandirana Geja, investigating consciousness. And then, Uttapana Geja, determining consciousness. Then Javana, then the Dharamana. So in this way, we have the process of those, for the beginners, I need to write. So for the beginners, there's some, students that they have learned Abhidhamma only the 2 or 3 months or 4 months. It may be difficult to understand, but by hearing these terms, you may not understand those terms for the time being, but later that will be very helpful for you when you see them again. Okay, anyway, we recite and finish. Okay, now these technical terms. The first one is Adita Bhavanga. Bhavanga Chalana. The trembling of the Bhavanga Chaita. So what is the Bhavanga Chaita? So Bhavangu Pacheta. Bhavanga Upacheta, cutting off Bhavanga consciousness. Then Pinja Dwara Vajana. Now you have already known Pinja Dwara Vajana. Pinja Dwara Avajana. Adverting the consciousness to the 5 doors. Pinja Dwara Vajana. Chakhu Vijnana, eye consciousness. Samprechana, receiving consciousness. Santirana, investigating consciousness. Uttapana, determining consciousness. Javana, we don't have any, particular English translation. I think it is better. Javana, consciousness. The Dharamana, consciousness. So the Dharamana, actually it takes the object of the, the Javana. So it follows the Javana. Following the object taken by Javana. Because this commentary explanation, to understand this commentary explanation, I think we have to know these technical terms to maybe roughly. Okay, now repeat, after me, Adita Bhavanga, Bhavanga Jalana. Bhavangu Pacheda, Pinja Dwara Vajana, Chakhu Vijnana, Samprechana, Santirana, Uttapana, Javana, the Dharamana. Okay, only the the diploma students. Okay, in those, the process of the mind, all of these consciousness, from the Adita Bhavanga to up to the Uttapana, they are resultant consciousness. They are the resultant consciousness produced by our past karma. So whatever, even for the Buddha also, those consciousness will arise when the Buddha sees visible object, when the Arahanta sees a visible object, when the ordinary person sees a visible object. At that time, these consciousness will arise. Like Adita Bhavanga Bhavanga Chalena Bhavanga Pecheda, Bejara Vajana Jaku Vinyana Sambrichana Sandirana Uttapana. But what is the difference is in the Javana process, we have Kusala and Akusala Kiriya. There are three kinds of the Javana Jaitas. Kusala Jaita, Akusala Jaita, Kiriya Jaitas. The Kiriya Jaitas are for the Arhanta and Buddhas. So we don't need to think about the Kiriya Javanas. So when the mind process comes to that stage, that can be Kusala or Akusala. So Kusala and Akusala is decided when the mind process comes to the Javana time, Javana movement. At that time, so in ourself, there would be wholesome consciousness or there would be unwholesome consciousness. So we don't need to think about the Dharamana. The Dharamana also it is a resultant consciousness. So whatever we hear or whatever we see, small, always this Javana arises in us. In that moment, in the Javana moment, we say there is a kilesa or no kilesa. Kilesa arises in that moment. Kilesa no rise in that moment. Kilesa may not rise in the Javana movement, or kilesa may rise in the Javana movement. So when the Kusala Jaitas, it is no kilesas. When there is Akusala Jaita arises, it is kilesas. Okay, here is unconsciousness is Jakupasada. The Jakupasada, Jaku Vinyana. This Jaku Vinyana we call unfaculty. This unfaculty is, actually this is a resultant consciousness, you see. So this unconsciousness, you cannot say Kusala, Akusala. This is a Vipaka. What is unconsciousness? Vipaka. How many unconsciousness according to the Ahituka Jaitas? 2. Akusala Vipaka and Kusala Vipaka. Unconsciousness is Kusala Vipaka or Akusala Vipaka. They are no Kusala or Akusala. This point is very important to distinguish. When the unconsciousness rises, the unconsciousness is no Kusala, no Akusala. It is just Vipaka. So Vipaka don't give the result. Because it is a Vipaka, because it's already result. So to guard unfaculty means actually no guarding the unconsciousness. You have to guard Javana. So because of this, in the commentary he said, Chakundari Samvaram Asamvaram Nati. There is no restraint or no restraint in the Chakundariya. Here means unconsciousness. In the unconsciousness, no guarding, because you cannot guard it. But what you have to guard or protect is Javana. In the Javana movement, you don't have to give the chance to rise akusalas or asavas. By not giving the chance for rising of the asavas, it means you are Chakundariya Samvara Samhuta. When the akusala jaitas rise or asavas rise, it means asamvara. Okay, now I will continue explain about this in the afternoon. Now stop now. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.